Why having fun? One thing I'll promise you is at least few of you going to build business today if you have never built anyone before. Trust me, you build business, and before this year ends, someone may just make millions just for listening. Pay attention, but not serious face. Let's have fun. Okay, yeah. My name is Tim. Let me just give you a big background before, so you can understand what we're going to be doing here. I built my first startup around the age of 22. Coming from a very humble background, like an average Nigerian, I drank Gary very well growing up. Trust me, forget about the Forbes story. So, what that means is, if anybody here thinking about life, I am going to tell you there's so much hope. There's so much you can do in Nigeria. This thing is very tall. You know, I'm not. I want you guys to see my face. Okay, so I'm doing all of this so that you can relax your muscles. Yeah, let's have fun. Now, there's popular thing happening in Nigeria. The idea of japa. Everybody want to japa. Yeah, a lot of people here want to japa. So maybe I will give you opportunity to japa. Will you be interested to see opportunity to japa? Unfortunately, I'm not here for japa. You will ja in. So, you see, I understand Nigeria is difficult. I understand a lot of things are not working like we would have loved it to work. But you see, when I hear Nigerian youth saying we don't have opportunities in Nigeria, honestly, I don't know where those things comes from. I wake up every day and I see opportunities to make millions in Nigeria. So what is going on? Huh? We don't have the idea yet. But we all go to school. So you see, I started doing research. I took my own time apart from business. You see, you can't do everything as a business person. You can always face your own battle, right? So in my book today, I can tell you probably I can build another 10 business this year. And all of those businesses are going to be profitable. Trust me. I've built startups that have made money and have exited. And I can tell you I can still build 10 more this year. From this Nigeria, nobody can take me out of Nigeria to go and work. How much do you want to pay me? How much can you pay me? If I travel abroad, I can only spend maximum 2 weeks. So what I'm trying to say here is, we have opportunities in Nigeria. We have opportunities in Africa. If you want to earn in dollars, you can be in this Lagos and be earning in dollars. We're going to trash everything here this afternoon. So being here, let me tell you something. Being here, right, it's a great privilege. And I'm happy that you're going to listen to me. Thank you. Now, let me first open your eye to something. We all know what they call sawdust, right? So sawdust is wood shaving for people that may be doubting, like, okay, what is sawdust? What is sawdust? In Nigeria, if you go to sawmills, you see them piling up sawdust in hills, right? If anybody is familiar with that space, what they do, they burn the sawdust down. They spend money to burn them, right? Because the people that are into poultry, they take the wood shavings, they don't take the sawdust. So the sawdust becomes a very big waste. They have to burn or spend money to evacuate sawdust from their space. Do we know what they call mosquito coil? For some of us that grew up from all those, for the big people, they use fleets now, but some of us, we grew up with mosquito coil. Okay, I'm here to tell you, mosquitoes coils are actually made from sawdust. How do you think about that? If you go to sawmills in Nigeria, they can literally give you all their sawdust for free. Like, just take it away from us every week. Pack it. Pack it. You know, I was doing research about the uses of sawdust, and in my research, I got to discover mosquito coils are actually made from sawdust. And you know the foreign thing? Nigeria actually import mosquito coil. A ton of sawdust will not cost you anything. The only thing to cost you is logistics to take it from sawmill to wherever you want to process it. But making mosquito coil, you need sawdust to carbonize sawdust. Sorry, I may be sounding technical. Carbonization, that means burning it into charcoal form. right? You have it in black powder. You grind it to powder, right? Powder form. What is the other element you had? As I'm saying this thing, please be checking Google if I'm lying. Now, what can you add to make sawdust to become mosquito coil? Lemongrass. Lemongrass. Do we have opportunity in Nigeria? You are still doubting me. We are going to there. Now, adding lemongrass to sawdust makes mosquito coil. Now, a ton of sawdust that must have cost you like 5,000. Let's say you even spend money on lemongrass, you get it for another 5,000, logistics and whatever you got it. Then the processing, I will dash you another 20,000 naira for processing of 1 ton. Now, for you to make 1 ton of mosquito coil, you will have about 4 tons of sawdust. Please, some can do the mathematics. If you check market value today, a ton of mosquito coils is 10 million naira. When you import it to Nigeria, it is 10 million naira. But Nigerian youth will tell you, we don't have opportunities. I want to jabba. We have people that have studied biochemistry. We have people that have studied chemical engineering. We have people that have studied mechanical engineering. Then you wonder, okay, what's the problem? I am not telling you to build a large factory. I'm only telling you, can you just do something small with the knowledge? So, after some times, I don't have answer for it yet. I'm still researching further to get to discover, is it our educational system that is faulty? We can't conclude that yet. Because, truthfully, if you check it, some of these things would have been taught in school one way or the other. I think there's a shift we need to make about our mentality. We don't think in processing. We think in consumption. We just want to consume everything. Right? So what I'm trying to say here about that is this. Maybe the school, right? So in the school system, they teach us what is maybe guano, what is gelatin, and we don't get to understand how to make gelatin. They will tell you dongoyaro, but they don't teach you the uses of dongoyaro. Maybe that's where the educational system is faulty, right? But where we should also take responsibility and not shift everything to the lecturer or the system, can't we do further research? If I've studied chemical engineering, I don't think I can be jobless, honestly. I've said it severally. If you ever find any chemical engineering person that is seeking for a job, honestly, I would doubt your certificate. Because we have all the resources available online that you can use. So let me tell you something again. I told you we're going to be building businesses. Maybe somebody is writing down this to mosquito coil. I don't know. If I'm a smart guy, I may be thinking something now. Okay, so there's something they call neem powder. Neem. For ladies here, maybe they use it. Organic stuffs, organic cream, pharmaceuticals, and all of that. In Nigeria, we actually import neem powder. If you are importing neem powder to Nigeria, a kg in international market is $35. By the time you had logistic to import it, you may be landing at about $50. If you are buying it locally made, it is 8,000 naira per kg. Neem powder. Jesus Christ. What is neem powder? What is neem powder? Dongoyaro. Dongoyaro tree is neem powder. And we are still importing neem powder. So what is the problem? We don't have opportunities in Nigeria, right? I have a young guy. All he does is he takes dongoyaro leaf. He will sun dry it, take it back, grind it into powder, package it, and this guy is selling it, making money. Self-employed. Self-employed. I don't know if somebody is going to look into that space. So business one or business two? Two, right? Okay. In fact, I love it when it is challenge based sometimes. When you tell me your sector, and I will just tell you one business in your sector that you must have never seen. You want to try out? What's your sector? You make what? Handmade bags. Interesting. So for handmade bags, I will look at fashion industry, right? And I'll tell you in fashion industry, we'll be looking at what are the other uses. The way I will come for you is this. I'll say, what are the other uses of these areas I'm doing in fashion? Because in fashion, to be honest with you, I've invested in fashion outside Nigeria before, and I can tell you it's a very tough space, if you agree. You're competing with a whole lot of people. So what extra value, what can you do that will make you different? So that will take me to say, these bags you're making, they are from animal skins and all of that, right? You use what? Okay, vegan. Okay, good. But for me, I will go to the original animal skins, and I'll tell you something. There's something they call gelatin. Do we have anybody in pharmaceutical here? There's something they call, you're in pharmaceutical? Okay, there's something they call gelatin. Gelatin is actually, we all know it, we all take it anyways. Gelatin is actually, when you take capsules, you know, when you buy drug, the capsule, the shell, is not the drug you are buying. There's a content inside the shell, that is gelatin. Now, how is gelatin made? Gelatin is made from cow and pig skin. So if you think you don't like pigs, for every time you buy capsule, you have taken pig. So for fashion, I will be saying alternative uses of my materials. And that was why I dived into products like gelatin. In Nigeria, sadly, nobody actually makes gelatin in Nigeria. We import it. Cow skin, pig skin. We don't have opportunities in Nigeria. But let me quickly correct a motive. Probably somebody is thinking, oh, all these motivational speaker. I started my business with 1 cup of beans. Listen, I am not a motivational speaker. For people that knows me here, I'm not inspiration. I don't even do this. I do business. And like I said, I've been running business by the special grace of God over a decade. I've exited a lot of startups. I have a recycling plant that I have done millions of dollars investment. So the reason why I'm saying this is not to create any funny picture. So you don't look at what I'm saying like one of those motivational speakers. Honestly, I am being serious here. Now, I'll check something else with you. The ladies will know it. They call it activated carbon or activated charcoal. Yeah. We use it for food. We use it for pharmaceutical. We use it for... You can see they are answering. But you know that stuff is actually made from coconut shell that carbonized, impregnated in lime. I have a young guy, all he does is this thing. He got a drum, he buys a coconut shell, a 50 kg bag of it for 2,500 naira, and he buys 3 bags. It may even be cheaper in your own local places, I don't know. So, for every 50 kg of the bag, multiply by 3 that he buys, which is 7.5. You do 2.5 multiplied by 3, 7.5. He gets 50 kg of activated charcoal. For the ladies here, I'm sure they know the price, how much they pay for that stuff. When this guy carbonizes it, he impregnates it with lime. And at the end of the day, he packages it into 150 grams. And he's selling 150 grams for 2,005 or something about. I don't know. Do you know how many grams in a kg? We have 1,000 grams in a kg. So someone can just do the mathematics. So he's having 50 kg of activated charcoal that must have cost him like about 10 to 20,000 naira to make it. Now he's packaging into 150 gram each and selling for 2,005. You can see the profitability yourself. But we say we don't have opportunities in Nigeria. We must japa. Do we still want to japa? No, but you see, the truth is that the work we don't want to do here, when you get over there, you will do it. Why can't we just get our hands a little bit dirty and get the job done right here? This is where you can even have a whole, you see, I don't know. Nigeria is one of the easiest way you can make money. Trust me. Because you know why? We have so much of problems. Yes, we have problems in every sector. Now, for you to be able to make money, we understand basic concept of see problem as a challenge. It's a mindset. The way you think, mindset. If you see it as a problem, it will be a problem. And if you sit down with people that always want to complain, want to talk about problem, you will sit down for the next 1 year, you are analyzing problem. The same way people want to talk about Japa, there's problem, there's no this. I wonder, most of my friends, when they call me, their own problem is expansion. They are thinking, oh, Tim, I don't know. My demand for this is too much. What can I do? I need form to increase. But you see a lot of people, when you come online or, you sit down with some people and they tell you, oh, there's no job, there's no this. I just want to jabba. And I'm like, okay, there's a problem. Which is part of the reason why I will create time to come to a platform like this to say, maybe let's try and change the mindset. If you don't see any good in this country cannot bless you. The day you realize you are in Africa for a particular reason, one thing I embrace first in my life as a Christian is that God that created me did not make me by mistake. No matter how you say, there's a purpose. I am a Nigerian. And my own target is to fulfill my own purpose before I go back and go and give account of all I have done. So for every one of us here, there's a reason why you are a Nigerian. There's a reason why you have been born in that state. There's a reason why you came from that family. It's for you now to go in, think, sit down, and discover why. Because every state in Nigeria, for instance, every state in Nigeria, they have things that are peculiar to them. If you come to where I come from, I'm from Oyo State, Ogbomoso precisely. We have a lot of cashew nut wasting. Cashew. That's what our people do. But you know the foreign thing in my state? We don't process the cashew. We always export it anyway. That's how we lose money. If you go to Benue State, I think people from Benue State can tell you the experience. They have food wasting there. Now, if you're in a place like Benue State, where they have a lot of food waste, I'll be thinking, can I look into alternative feeding for animals, like people in fishery? If you have anybody in fishery or poultry here, they will tell you the biggest challenge right now is cost of feeding. That is the biggest challenge in that sector, the cost of feeding. But you know what? We have alternative feeding mechanism. They call it black soldier fly. Black soldier fly is organic feeding substance, right? But how to make black soldier fly is just to take organic waste, either feces or food waste, compose them, grow the black soldier fly. I have a young guy that is into that, and he's selling a kg of black soldier fly, 400 naira. On a weekly basis, that guy grows 1 ton. That is 400,000 naira on a weekly basis. And to grow black soldier fly, you only just go to market, collect food waste from all those women selling fruit and all of those stuffs, compose it, and make black soldier fly. Sell to fish. Like, the demand is crazy. Because that's the only substitute for the people that buy from him. The point here is, how are we going to shift our mindset into production and leave consumption? I will take you on a bit of journey, which means I've given you examples of things that we can make. But how does this guy even think about this thing? So you can start also thinking that way. Let's do that. Then I'll just move on. Okay. This is what I do. I first told you something. My first thing is to shift your mindset and believe that there are possibilities. You can do things here in Nigeria. If you don't have that mindset shift, you cannot even attempt anything. So first thing is the mindset. The second thing I will tell you, try and pay attention to understand the difference between need and want. Most businesses in Nigeria struggles because they find it difficult to distinguish between need and want. You're coming up with a business and your business is just around people want, which means they have options to you. They have options. You are just another option. If your business is a need, it means they don't have option. They have to come to you. All my businesses, I say it with boldness today here, they are solving need. I produce alternative fuel for manufacturing industry. Diesel today is 780. Most of these guys, they will die buying diesel 780. I produce fuel that do the same thing that diesel will do, and I sell it to them 400 naira per liter. They queue at my factory. If you know me, if you are my friend, if you say, Tim, you are my guy, sell me a tanker of oil, it will take you the next 2 weeks to get tanker. And you will deposit money in our account. Because you know what we are doing? We are solving a problem. Need. It is different from, I'm always very careful where, ladies, you forgive me. Will you guys forgive me? I can just be too. So it's different from, you see, somebody that is producing, let's say, activated charcoal that ladies are using as beauty product. You're different from somebody that is doing another makeup artist, which is some of the most popular business you see among our ladies these days. What do? I'm a makeup artist. Sorry, I am not saying it's not a business. I'm just saying, can we look beyond the other things every other person is doing? If you talk to most ladies today, they tell you, oh, I'm starting a business. I need you to talk to me about the business. What business are you doing? I want to be selling air. The moment you tell me things like that, I'm sorry, I'm not saying it's not a business. The moment you tell me something like that, honestly, I switch off. Those are not the kind of things I want to hear. Because when I walk, I see opportunities. Tell me something that I don't even know. You see, and people will tell you, the biggest challenge is there's no money, nobody to fund me. It's a lie. There are millions of naira flying everywhere in Nigeria. They are looking for where to invest. They are looking for the next young chaps to give money to. The only thing you don't have that you have not been able to raise money is because you don't have anything unique that is solving a problem. Nobody will give you money if you cannot solve problem now. I can't give you 1 million naira to go and be selling hair like Chichi. It's true. It's true. But you see, when you tell me that the business you are doing, you are selling 1 million on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, your demand is supposed to be 10 million, but you don't have resources to get to that level. My brother, I will call you for the side. Biko, give me number, Eba. Let's business. It's different from, you are not going to be posting, you are going to be making your friend guilty by saying you are not buying from me, you are not buying from me. I'm talking about business that your friend will be calling you, sell to me, you'll be saying, please be on queue. When are we going to get to that level? Now, getting there, like I said, differentiate between need and want. Position yourself to need. So what I do, whenever I buy a product or I see things, I spend a lot of my time doing this. I first look at it. How is this thing made? That is what we don't get right in Africa. It's not Nigeria. Sorry, Nigerians. It's the entire continent. And that is why we are poor. We rely on international guys for everything. The basic things we can do here, we don't just look at it. We don't care. Now, when I look at the product, how is this thing made? That's when you now get to get things like, when I mentioned before, gelatin. Very big English. You'll be wondering what is gelatin. But someone like me, that I know that there are possibilities, I can unlock anything. I'll go to Google, what is gelatin? Google will tell me gelatin definition. How to make gelatin. That's when you discover that it's just cow skin that has been paralyzed, that they are calling gelatin, and they are importing it to us. How are we going to liberate Africa? Right? Our forefathers suffered. And the same thing is what is happening to us economically. We are still depending on the Western world. We are even taking our own skill, the most strongest youth, they want to jabber, so that everything still get destroyed. When you jabber, you still come back later on now. Yeah, but that's the truth. You will still come back at some point. You run away from the problem is waiting for you. So the point here is, when you have that mindset of everything, please do this thing for 2 weeks. Everything you're buying henceforth, start paying attention to them. Read the product notes. How are these things made? You start discovering amazing things. You will see basic thing in your compound, in your own compound, though. And you get to discover that this is so simple. Now, this discovery is a problem. You see an average Nigerian competing with another Nigerian business. So you set up a business, you're selling X. Your friend just see that, oh wow, this business is doing well, people are coming to that business, and the next thing they are thinking, oh, I have that friend, they make money. She has never seen your accounting book before. She just assumes you are making money. Even though if you are taking debt, they just assume you are making money. But you see, my own mindset has gone to a level that I will be thinking collaboration without person. There's this business most Nigerians do now, poultry. A lot of Nigerians do poultry. Probably somebody is into poultry here. Now, poultry is facing the same challenge I mentioned before, cost of feeding for those poultry. You see a lot of them struggling with profitability and all of that. But at the end of the day, Nigerians are still building more poultry, because I agree, we like to eat egg, even though the economy is shrinking. You know, people still buy egg, I agree. But you know what? I did a further research, and this is the first time I'll be talking about this product, except people that follow me online. There's something they call powdered egg. Has anybody seen powdered egg before? Or heard powdered egg? You've seen powdered egg. You see how much egg our poultries are producing on a daily basis. Nigeria import $1 billion of powdered egg on a yearly basis. But our own poultries are suffering. Mr. Kola that owns the poultry is struggling to make money from his own poultry. But our own country, we are still importing $1 billion of powdered egg on a yearly basis. We don't produce powdered egg in Nigeria. That's the sad story. Our pharmaceutical industries, food industries, they import powdered egg. Because we don't think processing, we don't think production. Everything we want chop am. So the point here is, your value here should be, what can you do to change that narrative? In a poultry, I will give you a rundown of figures. In a poultry, to make 1 kg of powdered egg, you need, let's say, powdered egg yolk, because that's the highest demanded. Powdered egg yolk is a kg, you need 100 pieces of egg to make a kg of powdered egg yolk. Now, in Nigeria today, for the poultry guys, I don't know if anybody is familiar, a egg is going for like about 60 naira from farmers and all of that, and they make a margin of 15 naira. So if you do 15 multiplied by 100, well, can somebody do that? 15 by 1,500, right? That's the profit they make on 100 pieces of egg. When you make that same 100 egg into powder, a kg of egg yolk powdered is selling for 15,000 naira. 15. So you can see how we are losing out. These are the gaps in our economy. So when I was talking about you adding value to your friend, if I am the next investor, I will not go and build a poultry, my friend. I will make much money than the person that is doing a poultry. All I will just do and do is to buy a dehydrator. What will make it to powder is what they call dehydrator. I will just buy a dehydrator. In fact, you can buy a small scale one, 250,000, 1 million, depending on your capacity. Buy a dehydrator, dehydrate the egg, pack it together, Tell Mama Baba Kola that is doing poultry, producing egg. I will buy all the eggs that will be coming from your poultry. He will be jumping up. While he's selling for 60, I will offer him 65. But look at my profitability. On 1 kg, at the end of production, I can go home with as much as 10,000 naira. These are the issues. So, the point here again is that research, think collaboration. Think collaboration. And in collaborating these days, it's not as difficult as decades ago because all businesses are online now. It's very easy for me when I have what you need. Madam, I can come to your DM if I have what you need. I don't need to say sorry. I'll just tell you this. If it's something that she needs, she will call me. She'll be the one to ask for my number. No matter her level, she can be billionaire. I can just be one guy. As far as I have what she needs that solves her problem, she must look for me. So how do you position yourself to that level where people need you? They are looking for you. That's what we are talking about. Breaking the mentality that we cannot do it in Nigeria. That is all we're talking about. Now, raising fund. Most people will say, oh, I don't have money. The problem is I have ideas. Like I said before, there are a lot of ideas. Oh, it depends on what you have, how tangible it is. Like I said, try and collaborate. If you are a young person that is coming up, you have experience in chemical engineering or whatsoever it is, you're an engineer. Look for someone that studied marketing in school. Collaborate together. Let the person go and have a think about the branding, how to market the product. You just concentrate on the engineering part of it. There are some of your friends that study finance. Sorry, if we have anybody that is medium scale business here, there's difference between finance and accounting though. Because most businesses in Nigeria, they employ an accountant. You employ an accountant can never help your business to grow financially. I say it to you. An accountant will tell you how much is coming out, how much is coming in that you are spending. He will never be able to advise you on when to take debt and when to take equity. That's what the finance person do for you. Ask most of the accountants in Nigeria, they cannot differentiate between the two. I'm sorry to say, I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just saying the reality here. Now we dey here. Let's talk calm. Guys, let's talk calm. More fire. When we go outside, you know, we go outside and we all make it to be like, yeah. We praise ourselves. But let's say the reality here. We all need to sit tight. Youth. I mean, youth. We all youth. If our Baba say some of these things, we'll fight them like Buhari time, that time. But among ourselves, let's face the reality. We also need to sit tight and do some work. YouTube is there. Madam was saying something about YouTube, right? Amazing stuffs. If you see how much time I spend on YouTube on a weekly basis, you'll be amazed. When everybody is looking at Burna Boy, I like Burna Boy anyway. But you know what? What I check on YouTube is beyond Burna Boy. Oh. Means if I want to be bowling boy. So when you check on YouTube, things that add value to your skill, to your business, to your enterprise, how to grow. Not every time entertainment. My own definition of entertainment, I must work before I get entertained. If you don't have resources, you have not achieved anything. You can't go and be dancing. Come on, what are you doing? You don't do any no. You know, when you make money, you had. I'm not just talking about ordinary money, because there are monies in this country. There are money. Do you guys want us to go there? There are monies. I'm not talking of money that police will stop you, you'll be shaking inside your car. I'm talking of money that police will stop you, you say, let's go to anywhere. The federal government will come and arrest you for even arresting me. That is the kind of money we are talking about. You are solving problem. You are making money. The money can be different. If you call madam as a lawyer now to say, see what happened, she will first like, this guy, I trust him. He don't know what to say. But you know, there's a client you have. You are sure. You will say, where? Let's go there. This guy? No. If they arrest me for Yahoo tomorrow, I'm sure my lawyer will just laugh. I don't even know what that it looks like. But you know what? When they say Dorime, we can Dorime with any Yahoo boy in Nigeria. Oh. Forget about it. We may just look at We go dorime, nothing. Anywhere. So I'm trying to say this, youth, you can make legit money. Legit. Sell product. Do solution. You don't need to do all of those funny routes that you know are peace. PFC, you come to your hotel, you go to John window. So, please, let's change our mindset to start thinking in production, like I said, differentiate between need and want, find ways to collaborate. Like they said, the other speakers, you need mentors. You need people that knows some of these things more than you do. You see, there are principles that guides the world. You must learn those principles. One of the principles you need if you want to prosper, if you want to make wealth, is the principle of how things work. The principle of how things work. If you don't know it, you will struggle. And what are the example of elements in those principles are the things that I've analyzed to you. How to collaborate, how to come up with a business. And, you know, someone was talking about something while I was there, about career that, oh, you're employed somewhere. If you don't get good paid, you don't get the promotion you deserve. And the question I always ask is, how much value do you give that organization yourself? Are you a strong element that if you try to pull out, the owner of the business will kneel down and beg you, oh boy, the money with this guy they bring, I know if you lose them. But if you see, because most times when people call you to say they are looking for a job or they're recommending someone, they say, that guy has graduated from university of this, he has certificate in this. I ask you, what can you do for me? Me, as I did like this, I can employ everybody here. It depends on what you can deliver to me. If we talk calm and you show me Naira and Kobo, the way you work it and I believe in you, I will give you a job tomorrow, Sunday. It's just truth. If you ask employers of labor, they will tell you the most difficult thing in Nigeria starting a business. You own business. It's difficult to employ people. I had a lawyer I wanted to employ sometimes. I interviewed a lawyer myself. I'm not a lawyer, even though I've been to business schools. And I asked the lawyer, what is prenup? She couldn't tell me what is prenup. A lawyer. So these are the things we all need to tackle together. On this note, I think you guys have sat down a long time. I will have to rest my case, and I will wait for questions. Like I said, we should have a very interactive section. So if you have questions for me, thank you.
Question. Thank you. Thank you so much for your explanation, and you have enlightened our eyes to, to things maybe we knew or we just never did anything about it. But I think the fundamental problem for me per se is from the roots. We're never taught, how to think innovatively from primary school, secondary school, and even in the university. So the Nigerian system is such that everybody is just looking forward to having a degree and start whatever business that maybe has been in existence. So I think you should also, it's just my suggestion, look at how you can interact with ministries, educational systems where children, or organize campaigns or workshops for children. We are adults. You have told us. Most of us, well, I don't know what we'll do with it, but young minds are very, very important. So let's see how we can capture these young ones.
Thank you very much. It's a very great suggestion. I have a foundation, Team Adeleye Foundation for Africa, and this is what I do every time. So my coming here is part of my foundation work because my time is also expensive. So this is me donating my time. And what we do is this at the foundation. I don't give money when you come to me to say food and all of that. I rather organize trainings and all of this. And what I've discovered as the biggest issue is skill development in Africa. It's very key. And especially in Nigeria, we are lacking very behind when it comes to skills. You wonder why our technical colleges are not existing again. If we have technical colleges still working, we will have a whole lot of jobs happening. And if you are in real estate today, I tell you, you see people from Benin, Togo, they are the best guys we employ for plastering, plumbing work. Because we don't have Nigerians that can do those jobs again. I'm sorry to tell you, it's sad truth. You can talk to your guys. So we're trying our best to see. And for the adults, the reason why we also want to change the mindset here is 40% unemployment rate is very alarming. It's very alarming, which is the reason why some people, a whole lot of us, we cannot drive safely 2 a.m. in Lagos again. Unemployment rate. So look at Nigeria population. The entire unemployment rate in Nigeria is about 40%. And we say youth in Nigeria is like 60%. So who are the people that are not employed? They are majorly youth, which means over 50% of Nigerian youth are not employed. Isn't that the problem? So let's start looking at a solution around this angle as well. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. All right, so while you were speaking, something began to burn in my heart. So I just want to ask, when you were giving this business insight, my mind began to go to my mom. Forgive me for referring to her. My mom actually lives at the remote side, Badagry area, and my mom is the kind of person that she does a lot of things. She has done a lot of things, granite making, tie and dye, and even we know within the family that what my mom just needs is visibility. Mm-hmm. You understand? And then, even to the extent that, in fact, my mom's granules, right now, I still have some package I want to deliver to somebody in the UK. Now, this thing there are small things, but, I feel like there is more that even me myself, I can leverage on. In fact, that you understand what I'm trying to say now? Yeah. And this is why it's burning in my heart. So I don't know. Can you help me talk about, because the way I want to deliver it now is not like going to ship it. I want to give it to somebody that is traveling and so that can help me deliver. so it's not as if I'm getting any share.
Yeah.
So do you think how do you, I don't know.
Okay, so it's basic. So like I said, honestly, you'll be looking at value added. So what value added means to me is some of those things that she produces already, or that she has a lot of them available to her. Start going online. You, not I anymore. She can't do all of those things. And pick some of those products and say, uses of granules. Granite processing. What are the things that can be extracted from granules? What are the things that can come out from coconut? At least I know for a free that coconut oil is a big thing. There's coconut powder, right? And you see, the granite itself, I think granite eating it as peanuts, I don't know the profitability in it, but I know that you are competing with a lot of people. But when you get to granite oil extraction, my brother, you become billionaire. Granite oil extraction, when you take the oil from granite, that's the most pure oil you can eat, apart from olive oil. Then the cake after the oil, you sell it to all these animal feed guys. It's a big business. It's a big industry. It's not like palm kernel crushing and some of those businesses. So if your mom is still doing it as normal, let's say like chop granules, then you change the narrative for her.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon. Yeah. Thank you for that insightful discussion. Quickly, where I would like to spot on is when you mentioned the alternative fuel to diesel, and that was where my friend that was sitting beside just tapped me and like, this is your own calling. So this is it. I'm into all age. Okay. We have a number of trucks that deliver sand and all that across the Lekki-Epe axis, and diesel has been a major issue. Like over the past few years, diesel has been, thinning down our profits by the year.
Everybody.
When we were selling for less, we're making more money than when we have the more this thing. So, as I was about asking, one person beside me said, no, the alternative to fuel to diesel cannot be used for truck. However, what kind of machines those these fuel work for, so that let me know if I have those machines around me, if possibly, like you mentioned, collaboration. Pick these.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one is out of this seminar is business now. However, so for information's sake, the oil we produce, we give it to big industries. I'm talking of brands like Lafarge, and which is why if I'm talking about things in Nigeria, it looks like okay. So we have off-takers. If you want to come on board, maybe our next expansion. But for current capacity, we are on off-take already. I hope you understand the concept of off-take. So all our production is going to certain companies. So we may not be able to onboard new guys. However, there's also something in biodiesel as well. For science guys there, there's a used cooking oil. You know, we can actually use it to make biodiesel. So there's a way you filter used cooking oil, and it doesn't take so much of process. If you go to YouTube, wash it with water, glycerin, and all of those things, you have biodiesel that can mix 50-50 with conventional diesel. And so I'm sure if you have something that take your diesel cost by 50%, you'll be jumping hallelujah every day, right? So you can look into stuffs like that. The what do you call this thing? Jatropha seed. I don't know the local name. So if you check online Jatropha, you take the seed. We don't even use it for anything. It's one of those things that can be used to produce biodiesel. Diesel does not really have to come from the conventional fossil digging of ground, spoiling the earth. I'm a climate person. So we need to just look far beyond the current Nigeria. Any other question? Okay.
Yeah. I have a question concerning startups.
Okay.
Like, you know, you've been talking about business insights and the rest, but I want you to really like explain to us, like, you know, what it takes to start it. I mean, the mindset, how to deal with procrastination, you know, because it's a whole lot to me. Because I'm currently working on something right now in collaboration with my secondary school chemistry teacher. So, I mean, the whole thing has been really.
Are you a chemical person?
I'm studying nautical science. I'm in the maritime sector.
Okay.
So I don't really know much about. If I didn't like chemistry in secondary school, you understand? So, but the inside was like, okay, fine. I need to work with someone that knows chemistry. You understand? So, working with him, he told me that I should deal with the legal aspect of it.
You have a legal person here.
Yes, I'm going to come to her.
Okay.
So he told me I should do the legal aspect of it and, you know, how to start up and, you know, grow the business. So that is really what I'm actually focusing on right now.
You are stuck on not taking action.
How to go about actions.
Okay.
You know, starting up.
First, the business you want to do, have you identified there's need for it? Isn't so something like fertilizer, right? Okay. And if you are talking about chemical, you are talking about synthetic fertilizer. Or is it organic? It's organic. So why are you procrastinating? You're about to make billion now. Because the world is talking about organic fertilizer. We all don't want to die of cancer anymore. So if you have solution to provide organic fertilizer, why are you procrastinating? Maybe you need someone like me to ginger you, or you send me your idea. Yes, now some of us are fast guy. Why is procrastinating? I can produce that thing in the next 2 weeks. Yes, now if there's money to be made, why are you sleeping? Do you get? Okay, so on that organic fertilizer, sorry, let me just drop this for that, then I go. So for some people that are thinking maybe some of these things requires money, requires this and all of that. For your organic fertilizer, you know, there's something they call guano. Guano was actually the most, let me use the youth language, the most craziest fertilizer that was ever produced centuries ago. In 18th century, I think 1879, there was a war between the Spanish and South American regarding guano fertilizer. Over 2,000 people died in the space of 5 years. guano fertilizer. Now, so guano organic fertilizer ended in, that was the only fertilizer that they were using in those years before this what do you call this thing now, all these synthetic fertilizer and all of that. So when the world got to synthetic production of fertilizer, they ended the guano. But you now know what is going on now. The world has now shifted to organic life. Everybody's thinking let's grow green because of all this cancer and different diseases from synthetic fertilizers. Now, the next question everybody's going to be thinking, guano is now still available. A kg of guano in international market is selling for $50. But the question is, what is guano? I've checked online. Nigeria still imports guano. What is guano? You know bats? Bats now. Seabed that always land on sea areas. Their excreted material is guano. Their shit from bats and seabed, that is guano, that cost lives of people years back. So that guano, so what research did is that the world discovered the shit from bats, seabed have all the elements in every other fertilizer. It's the richest fertilizer. Now, I will now tell you something. Okay, camera is able. Let me see. So there's a popular brand in Nigeria. If you check online, they call them GNLD. Everybody know GNLD. GNLD now brought something to Nigeria. They call it Super Agro Fertilizer. You go on YouTube, you see testimony. That thing is working. It's super. That thing is guano and chicken drop. Guano and chicken. They wrote it on the body. You know, international man, you must declare. It is guano. And when you check what is guano, bat shit and seabed shit. That is what Nigerians are buying. And we are posting it on GG. We are distributor over 20,000 naira. I am not talking again. Bye-bye. Okay.
Very interesting session. I'm into oil and gas. Okay. So immediately you spoke about a kind of that could bring down cost and all. I mean, my interest was piqued. So, and you spoke about collaboration and all. But you now said you are maxed out as per off-takers and all. If you get like brand new, channels for demand, is there anything you can do?
It's about capacity. Okay. Our output right now, there's nothing we can do about our output.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
do you understand? The solution. So you see all these iron smelting companies, people like into fertilizer, cement like Lafarge, they consume a whole lot of energy. So they don't joke. In fact, Lafarge oil is piped directly with Shell. They don't even do all these bring truck because of their consumption. So they need a whole lot from us. Even our byproduct, everything is locked down. So hopefully somebody come up with new solution